Hi, I'm Jerry Young, and when I host the weekly Warrior Preview, I dress like this. But when I go to Nino's Italian restaurant, I dress like this. That's because Walter Corona and his staff at Nino's Italian restaurant give me 10% off my entire bill just for wearing Warriors gear. Every Friday and Saturday, you can wear your Warriors gear and get 10% off of your entire bill also. That's Nino's Italian restaurant next to Pee Wee's Pawn Shop on Highway 31 in Pelham.
Hello everyone and welcome to week 4 of your weekly Warrior Preview. I'm Donette Logan with Jerry Young. And Jerry, tough loss, but man, did Alabaster turn out at Hoover.
Well, I'll tell you what, Donette, it's just we travel great, and everybody says that, but the excitement on the sideline, of course, you were on the sideline. You had a close-up view of it. I know it had to be exciting.
It really was, and Thompson wanted a whiteout. They had a whiteout. Fans showed up in droves. They covered even part of the Hoover side. So I will say one thing, win or lose, our fans support our team.
Well, let's get into the game a little bit. Both teams had over 500 yards of offense, and, you know, with the game, with that kind of yardage, you know, it's going to take a while. And both teams pass a lot of scoring. So it was just an exciting game. And, you know, Thompson came up a little bit on the short end, but learned a lot from it, obviously. And let's, you know, some of the stats. Tungavaloa was 33 for 57 for 478 yards. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. He had 4 TD passes and, of course, 1 interception. We had 18 running plays. That's how much we threw the ball. Kyle Smoke had an 8-yard TD pass reception. A.J. Bonham had a 24-yard pass reception. And Michael Petway had 2 TD receptions. So everybody contributed, just a big ball game. Hoover had it 14-0 into the first quarter. That hurt us. And then they went up 21-0. And then we answered with 12 points in the second quarter, made it 21-12 at halftime. And then the rest of the time, it was 31-12 into the third, and the final score, 45-26. So we put up some points. We had a lot of good things coming out of that ball game, but like I say, we came up a little bit short. Of course, Thompson hopes that history repeats itself. Last year, this exact same situation happened, except we beat Hoover,
right,
and then Hoover came back and beat us when it counted in the playoffs. Let's hope that we reverse history just a little bit. The same things written about us in the state, we come back and beat them in the playoffs. That'd be great.
Yeah, it would. And I actually talked with Coach Freeman today to find out you don't want to lose, but the lessons are taken away as they move ahead. Hey, Coach, so we're opening up this week at home, a big week for your players. Talk about what it means to actually be, after 3 games on the road, now being in a new stadium.
It's just good to be home. It's good to have the opportunity to play here in front of the home crowd and have our own stuff here and not have to travel and fight traffic, and just looking forward to the new stadium and finally getting to play in it.
Now, coming off a loss with Hoover, and it's never want to lose in this season, but there has to be some takeaways from that game that's going to help the team down the road.
If we approach it right, there will be. You know, we have to make good of the failures. We have to find out where we were short, where we were weak. Did we play 48 minutes? Did we start? You know, we got to go back and fix the things that we were short at, and if you do that, I think later in the year you do become better. But you know, you never want to lose. We don't want to lose any games here, and you know, it hurts that it's a region game, and not so much as who beat us, but it's a region game. Now we got to come back and we got to win a region game this week.
Jerry, you hear from Freeman, and we can take those lessons from Hoover and put them on the field as we prepare for Oak Mountain the rest of the season. Hopefully that's the only loss we have, but you have to wonder how these losses impact these kids. They are still high school kids. I talked to Will Hoffman today, defensive end, to find out what he's taken from Hoover and putting on the field for Oak Mountain. Okay, Will, so it's a big week for Thompson, for Alabaster. You guys are finally getting to open in this new stadium on region play. What's it like to finally start your season at home?
It's exciting because we get to play. Everybody's going to be here in front of our home fans, but personally I like playing away better because I like going into someone else's stadium and beating them in their own stadium.
You talk about you like playing away. When you're on those buses heading to an away game, what's your mindset?
Just to go in and get a win, dominate.
What do you do before every game to kind of get hyped up?
Listen to some music, talk with friends, watch some Netflix. I'm not a big hype guy. I'm gonna get on the field, and that's when I get ready.
That's when you get hyped up and show what you guys have been working on. So talking about Oak Mountain, what do you think is going to be the keys for you guys on the field, strength-wise, to get a win here at home?
If we stop the dive. If we stop the dive and they run that triple option offense, so if we just stop the dive and play with our keys, we'll stop their offense and shut them down.
So you guys just wrapped up practice here, and I know coming off a loss at Hoover is not something anybody ever wants, but when you come off a loss and you're about to play at home, are you forgetting about that week, or how are you moving ahead?
We'll play more motivated because, I mean, everybody's ticked off that we lost because, I mean, we were a couple of plays away from being a close game. So we're just gonna come, probably play harder this week than we did last.
So what I've done on Twitter, sometimes I like to ask people in Alabaster if they have a question for the team. And one question came from Crystal. Her son plays with the kindergarten first grade football team in Alabaster, and they're kind of struggling to get a win. They wanted to know what words of advice Thompson football players would have for them.
You get in what you put out, or what you put in, you get out. And so, like, if you put in the work, you're always going to see your results. The harder you work, the more results you get.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Bill. Appreciate it. Jerry, I think anytime we can get our viewers to send in questions, it's amazing. And I want to be able to take those questions from our community and ask them to the football players and the coach.
Sure.
So if you have a question, please message us here on Alabaster Living, and we'll do our best to get those answered for you.
Well, absolutely. We have access to the players and to coaches that nobody else has, thanks to Thompson High School. And so we'll be happy to do that. Just love to have it. So just send it to Alabaster Living, send us a message, and we might even say your name on the show.
Yeah, and now we've got to look ahead, though, to Oak Mountain.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I think, a great home opener, a great game for fans. One person that Oak Mountain has on their team that Thompson needs to be ready for is Luke Purser.
Well, he ran a touchdown back for 97 yards on a kickoff last week. He also scored 2 other touchdowns. He's Chris Bell's go-to guy, and I've known Chris Bell ever since he came to Alabama. He's changed his philosophy on offense over the last few years. And I want to tell you what, Donette, they're coming in this week. They're expecting to beat Thompson. They're expecting to this season home opener. They don't care anything about that. They only lost by 3 or 4 points last week to Hewitt-Trussville.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They're got a great offensive powerhouse team. And like I say, Luke Purser is their go-to guy. Their quarterback is Evan Smith, and he'll do a good job in the backfield, as well as Bennett. They'll throw it out to Noah Young some, and they'll spread the ball around. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And like I say, they could care less that they're coming into our big atmosphere and our big new stadium. They're coming in here to beat Thompson.
And all that being said, and that may be how they're coming in, but Thompson, they don't care either. They are ready to take the lessons from Hoover and move ahead. And I talked to Freeman about that today to find out what he's telling his guys to get ready for the Eagles. Talking about Oak Mountain, and it will be a first region game here at home, our first one, and you're going to face Luke Purser, one of their running backs, who has made a lot of headlines. When you see players like that on the opposing team, how are you getting your guys pumped and ready to handle that on the field?
I just do our assignments. Against Oak Mountain, you have to play your assignments. You have to, do what you're supposed to do and let the other 10 guys with you do what they're supposed to do on defense. And offensively, we just got to come out and do what we're supposed to do what we basically do every day in practice, and that's execute what we try to do, and and tackle and do the things you're supposed to do. And I think we'll be fine. We just have to. It's a real week that you have to be disciplined. It's with what they do, you can't go chasing the ball around. You got to tackle the guy you're supposed to tackle.
I hate to go back to the Hoover game, but I have to ask this question. One of the pictures that's going around social media is Thompson and Hoover players together praying on the field. Mm-hmm. What lesson do you think that's given your players?
That at the end of the day, the biggest thing in their life is to understand what they serve, who they serve, and to be a man when they leave us. We only have them for a short period of time, and football is an instrument to us to use them to teach them about life. And everything's not perfect, everything's not a success. They're going to wake up days in their life when it's not good. And I think the thing about us and Hoover is, the society wants to make it like we hate each other. We want to beat each other, but there's a lot of similarities in our program. I think that Hoover is under the same direction that we are. We want to raise good people to be good men. And, you can fight with people on the football field and battle for 48 minutes. But at the end of the day, I think it's something that you show your kids that, let's get together and let's pray and let's worship the person that made it available for us to be here. And to show people, in the day and time it is, that the most important thing in your life is the decisions you make and who you serve.
Yeah, life's bigger than just on this field and that game
Yes.
at Friday night. Coach, thanks so much, and we'll see you Friday.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I know it's more than just a game, and I get that, but let's talk about Oak Mountain a little bit more. Let me tell you, they came in last week with total offense of 455 yards. Now, we had over 500 against Hoover. They had 455 against Hewitt-Trussville. They're led by the wide receiver, Trey Allen, which I should have mentioned, Evan Smith, the quarterback, Cole Thomas. All those are going to be names that you'll hear me call out Friday night on the Warrior Nation Network. If you want to listen to the game, by the way, Warrior Nation Network, download the app, and you can listen while while you're watching the game there in the stadium. But they're a big play offense, and by that I mean they run the ball to set up the pass. So they love to lull you to sleep a little bit and then hit the big play. They love to go down the field with big passes, and they'll kind of suck the defense in and then try to get over the top with them. So, I'm very aware of what Oak Mountain does, and I know that Coach Freeman and the team, all the other coaches at Thompson are too. It's going to be a big ball game and exciting ball game.
That it definitely is, and these guys they're ready to go, and they may have a running game, but we know we've got key players on the field. If you can't stop, it's not going to make a difference.
One of my favorite things that you do on this show is a 2-minute drill. I know you had a chance to sit down with Jalen Bustamante, and he was a good 2-minute drill.
He was so nervous, but I have to tell you, I stumped him with one question.
Really?
Yes. Take a look. All right, Jalen, so I'm going to put you in our hot seat for a 2-minute drill. It's very simple. We're going to set our timer at 2 minutes, and we're going to go through some questions so that fans for Thompson can get to know who you are off the football field.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. What's your nickname?
Bush.
And why?
Because of my hair.
Kind of obvious one.
Yeah, it is. It's all wild. I can't contain it, so it's called Bush.
Who gave you that nickname?
Coach Freeman actually did my freshman year.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So it's kind of stuck a little bit.
It is.
Now, your brother plays for Thompson. What's it like having a brother on the same team?
It's a little fun, but then a little challenging because you got to keep him, knowing what he needs to do and then keep him on top of stuff. But it's fun at the same time because memories that last forever.
That's kind of a big brother answer. I got to keep him straight.
It is.
All right, so you have a hidden talent, I'm told, that you can cook. What is your favorite thing to cook?
Probably quesadillas or maybe beef tips and rice.
See, that got a little fancy there. I thought quesadillas that simple. Then you threw out beef tips and rice. That's a little fancy there. Okay, so we got about a minute left. What do you do to get hyped up for a game?
Just kick back in my locker, put the music on, focus on the game, or sometimes if I'm just feeling it, I'll probably just walk around, laugh around with teammates and stuff. That's how I get ready for games.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Ooh. Let's see. I gotta go with Victoria Justice on that one.
I told someone you're going to name someone I didn't know, and you just did. What is your favorite muscle group to train?
Probably my legs.
What's your favorite time to train?
Morning.
Get over with?
Just
get it done?
Just get out the way.
What would be your motto in life?
Just do it. Just like Nike has. Just do it.
Get your own ad line. If you could be any cartoon character that would fit you, who would that be?
That's tough.
You want to skip it?
Yeah, skip
we got about
that
8 seconds. What's
Okay.
one message you would give young warriors?
Do your schoolwork, always work hard, and always remember, thank your family for everything they've done.
That was it. Thanks so much. Jerry, it's always fun to do those 2-minute drills, and it's fun like to stump them on a cartoon character. So
Yeah.
I have to ask you, if you could be any cartoon character,
wow.
who would it be?
It'd have to be Jerry, Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
He's kind of witty, so I like that. I think I'm kind of witty, but also he doesn't talk. So, that kind of,
I like that part.
That's right. I know you do. Hey, if you want to listen to us talk on Friday night, you can do that. Donette's on the sideline. I do play-by-play. Warrior Nation Network. Just download the Warrior Nation Network app, Thompson Warriors app on your smartphone or smart tablet. You can bring your earbuds and listen to us during the game if you'd like. Every Friday night, we're on the Warrior Nation Network.
Jay, I want to make sure we thank all of our sponsors who make this show possible every week, and thank you to each one of you out there watching right now. Without you guys, this wouldn't be happening, so we appreciate all your support, and make sure you tune in next Thursday right here at 7:30 on Alabaster Living for the weekly Warrior Preview.